Hello everyone, welcome to Project Management Simplified. I am Gayatri Bakshi Sharma and this is MS Project Beginner Series. Today is lesson number 1 and in this lesson I am going to introduce you to MS Project and how you can start a new project in MS Project. So basically this lesson 1 will be primarily focusing on giving you a familiarity with the options and tools of a MS project and then efficiently start a new project. I'm sure you all must be ready, so let's dive into it. So we will begin with starting MS project. So I'm going to my start menu, opening MS project. So you can see that this is gonna be any other software wherein you can see all the common options like starting a new project, opening a project, etc. So I am going to start a blank project because I want you to learn how to build a project plan in MS Project. However, MS Project has option of some templates that you can utilize to take that as a starting point to build a project plan. So let's start a blank project. So this is a blank project where you can see that we have this task sheet on the left hand side and this timeline view on the right hand side. So basically on timeline view, whatever activity or task you add on the left hand side, that will start reflecting on the right hand side as a Gantt chart. So, beginning with the main menus, the very first menu you can see is file, wherein you can save a project, print a project, share your project, and then you can also export. Here we have this option as options, and this is one of the very important option if you want to declare any global parameters to your MS project. So here, for example, I can go to schedule, and if I want to describe the schedule option for the MS project that I'm going to create now on the global level, here I will be setting all those parameters. So first thing is you can create your task. So default option is manually schedule. However, it is always advised that you should auto schedule all the tasks. Why? Because when you are making changes to any of your tasks, so all other tasks dependent on that task will automatically get rescheduled. Otherwise, you will need to manually schedule all those tasks. So it is always advised to start with auto schedule. I'll show you another way of changing these tasks as manually or auto schedule, because MS Project is very powerful scheduling software, and here you will find multiple options and multiple ways of going to those options. So you can also schedule task on your project start date. So whatever you date you are going to start, the project will start scheduling those tasks, like very first task will get started from that project start date. Then you can add duration in number of formats. You can say minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months. I'm going to keep this as days, and then work. That means all those tasks that you are going to create in MS Project can be in hours, minutes, days, weeks, and month, depending upon size and complexity of your project. And then you also have task type. You can defaultly MS Project has fixed unit, but you can change that to fixed duration or fixed work depending upon the need of your project. All right, and then so this is how you can basically customize or set the global variables for your project. Okay, I'm not doing any change here to begin with, saying just okay. So another thing is here we have this task. So task is basically you can create your task, and then when your task is done for certain level, you can mark the percentage completed from here, and you can finish from here also. Then you have option of splitting your task. Let's say if your task is quite big and you want to split your task into multiple tasks, then you can use this feature to split your tasks. Then another important thing, which is setting a milestone. So basically in milestone, what you normally do is, um, in a project we normally work on different milestones. So milestone is when something has been completed, like some set activities has been completed on a project. So on your project plan you can set milestones also, and I will show you how to set all those milestones. And then we can go to resource is basically a list of all the people or all the things that you will be utilizing to complete this project. Could be your machines, could be your material, could be your people, anything. And then when you are creating a task, you can assign the resource to that particular task. And one of the very important option that ms project has is resource leveling. So you can do your resource leveling also, and then you can do over allocation part, you can balance your over allocation parts also. So leveling options, it has many multiple leveling options you can change. You can mark for automatic leveling also, and this is done by you can just have this, you can guide ms project that okay, do this automatic leveling day by day or month by month, week by week, or anyhow you want. These are many multiple options that you can utilize. And then you have option of doing this leveling on the entire project starting from the beginning, or you can set your duration, like you want your project leveling, resource leveling to be happening from this date to that date, so you can certainly opt for that option also. And then some very good options we have here is you can level your resources only within available slack. I'll let you know, I'll explain basically what slack is in a bit. But you can level within available slack is nothing but a float. So if there is a gap between two activities, and if you are stretching a task to couple of more days, and that does not affect overall a timeline of the project, that is called slack. So all these options you can do here. And then we have reports. So once your project plan is done, you have loaded your project plan with all the resources, cost, etc. This is one of the very important tool wherein you can just go and ask for a report from the software. It creates reports basis on what are the cost variables you have what are the resources that you are using. So you can have the visual representations of reports also, and you can compare different projects, and reporting of different comparison of different projects can be done here. Then another option is project. Here you can again set the global options of the project. I have shown you how you can change the options at the global level, and here also you can set the options of the project information on the global level. This is another area from where you can control project information. So you can change your start date, you can change your current date. Sorry, current date is gonna be current date, but yeah, you can change your start date, you can change your finish date. And then you can define your status date also. Date is nothing but when you want to review the status of your project. So you can set it to be after 1 week of starting the project, 1 month of starting the project, like whenever you want to draw the status of your project, that's gonna be your first status date. You can keep on changing your status date as and when required. So, when you are scheduling a project, how do you want to schedule? Do you want to start scheduling from the start date, or the current date, or the finish date? This is all you can define here. Then, what of the very powerful option you have here is of calendar. Normally, your default calendar is standard calendar, which works from Monday to Friday. It excludes Saturday and Sunday. For example, if you are scheduling a task of 10 days, so it will take 5 days from Monday to Friday, and then we'll take another 3 days from Monday to Wednesday. It will exclude Saturday and Sunday. However, you can define your own calendar, wherein you can define if you want to work on specific Saturdays, if you want to work on specific Sundays, or if you want to work on specific times even. So this is about project information. And important thing is, like, if you have all the activities planned, everything planned, you can put those tasks to manage sprints. Like, you can create different sprints using that. And then you have this option of creating your WBS. WBS is basically your work breakdown structure, like how you are breaking your high level requirement to low level manageable tasks, and how you are naming and giving code to your WBS. I'll show you how to create your WBS. And then another important thing that normally is being used on every single project is baseline. Like, when you have created a project, you should always create a baseline, because baseline is the standard, or the or the project plan which you can use to compare. For example, you are starting a project today, you have created a project plan, you are monitoring your project after 15 days, and you are comparing how it is going based on your baseline. So if you have changed something after 15 days, and then after a cycle of 15 days, that means after 1 month you are checking how things are going, then you can always compare using baseline. So basically, MS Project has quite a number of baselines. So you can set the baseline on the complete project. You can also create some baseline on your interim plan, and you can select on the tasks even. So normally it is always advised that you should set your baseline on the entire project. And then you had seen that we can add this status date from project information, and this is the another option which you can use to use your status date. Then we have this view. So view is basically what view you are on this MS project. So currently we are in Gantt view. You can go to your network diagram, you can go to calendar view also, and all those options which you can see on the top bar here, you can see all those views. And if you want to change your view, there is one another option. This is like you can go to this corner of the plan, right click on your right click, and then you can see the entry view. Entry view is your Gantt chart view. Then you can go to schedule, you can go to tracking view, you can go to variance view, usage view, and many more views. And then what you can do is, you can use this built-in calendar, or you can create your own calendar from here also. Then you have this Gantt chart format. In Gantt chart format, because this is a Gantt chart form view, so here you can decide about if you can mark this for critical path. So MS Project will show you what is your critical path on this project plan. So critical path is nothing but it is the longest duration your project is going to take to complete the project. So critical tasks are the tasks which are critical to be completed in order to complete the project. And I had already told you about Slack is basically float, like how much changes your task can be, like how much stretch you can give to your task, which are not going to impact the overall completion of the project. Baseline is again how you have created your baseline. And when you create a baseline, you can always compare using your baseline. And slippage is basically you can see how your project is getting slipped. And then you can go to check other views, you can go to the right side of your project plan. I'm going back to project, going to this right side, left side, sorry. And on left side I right click, and then I see calendar. if you see calendar, this is your calendar view. You can customize your calendar as you go. If you need, you can certainly customize. Like I told you, that standard calendar is from Monday to Friday in MS Project, but you can define your own calendar. I'll show you how to define your own calendar in coming up videos. So second one is the Gantt chart, which is a default view, and then your network diagram. So network diagram is basically how your information is flowing on the project, how every task is connected. So this is when you are going to create a project plan with all the tasks, so it is going to show you a network diagram. So let me bring one project that I had created for you, just to show you. So if you see this small project, you will note, if I go to network diagram, this is how it is going to show. That let me just zoom this a bit, so you can see that how these are done. Whatever has been done got crossed. So this is your network diagram, how the flow of tasks are working on the project. Then you can again click on this and you can go to tracking Gantt. So this is your tracking Gantt. So you see this red bar. So this is basically your critical activities, critical task, and critical path of the project. Then very important one is the timeline view. This is the timeline view. You can always tag your task to the timeline view. I will show you how you can do that. So I'm going back to this Gantt chart, and okay, I'm going back to the blank project, saying no, I don't want to make any change. Okay, going back to the Gantt chart. Okay, so now we will see how we can create a task. So if you remember, in the global options, I had not defined the mode of the task, like either it is going to be auto schedule or manual schedule. By default, MS Project consider every task to be manually scheduled. So if you see, you can see manually schedule or auto schedule. I'm not selecting any option at the moment, just giving a task name as task 1, and I'm saying this is going to be, you see that this has started appearing, this pins with question mark started appearing. This is what it is saying, that it is a manually scheduled task. I am going back to the task 1. So I'll show you. You see this manually schedule is selected. So this is a manually selected task because MS Project normally does schedule all the tasks manually. So I am going to give some duration, let's say 3 days, 4 days duration. And here I have to, define the start date and finish date of the task. However, if I could have defined that my task should start from this particular date, so a start date could have been propelled from the settings. So let's say I am going to start this from Monday, which is 27th. And so it has automatic, this is a very smart tool, so it has automatically taken Monday to Thursday, as I was explaining that it is going to take from Monday to Friday. So let me just increase the duration so that you will see. So I have increased the duration of this task to 8 days. Now you will see that it has taken from Monday to Wednesday. It is showing on this bar that it has taken Saturday and Sunday, but if you can see carefully, this Saturday Sunday section is little gray. That means it tasks are not being scheduled for those 2 days. So you can change your mode by selecting this and clicking on auto schedule one way, or you can just select from the drop down. Now you want that all the tasks that you are going to include or create should be automatically auto schedule, not manually schedule. So what you can do is you can just select on it, put your cursor here and drag it down. So drag it down just like So all you have already created all those tasks with manually scheduled, sorry, auto scheduled. Then you can just give your task here, task 2. So let's say I want this task to be lasting for 2 days, and I want this to be 3 days, I want this to be 4 days, I want this to be a day, I want this to create as a milestone. So I will create that 0, and 0 means it is going to be having a milestone. It is going to show this with a diamond, which is a milestone one. Then I am going to say 2 days, a day. Then I'm saying it has to be 3 days, let's say 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then rest of these tasks I'm gonna delete. If you have created, so you just right click, select, right click, and delete tasks. So if you can see, by right clicking, selecting, and right clicking, you can also change this to manually schedule or from auto schedule. And you can have this option of assigning your resources by right clicking a task also. Okay, I am deleting this, and I'm saying this is my task 1, this is my task 2, 3, task 4, task 5, and I'm saying this is my milestone 1, and this is my task 6, task 7. I'm just creating a very simple one, task 8, and task 9, and then a milestone 2. Another way of, and when you are creating a milestone, you know that you have to mark that as 0 day. Okay, now when I am going to change this, this is my task, and I'm saying this is gonna be what is the relationship between the task, which is one of the very important thing. I want that task 2 should be started after completion of task 1. So, what I will do is, to establish this relationship, I will work on this predecessor 1. So, I will say that predecessor of task 2 is task 1. So, task 1 is this. So, it is going to dependent on task 1. You see that this has moved it to this line, and now you see that these two bar have become red. Why? Because all these are on critical tasks. Both these tasks on critical tasks. Now I go back to the task. Okay, then the next thing is I have this task 3. I want, and if you want to change the relationship, what you can do is, after defining the predecessor, it will always take from finish to starter, but you can change this relationship by clicking on this, double clicking on this arrow, which connects these two tasks, and you can define what is the task dependency. Task 1 and task 2 have dependency of finish to start, or you can say start to start, finish to finish, start to finish, or none. No, although it is always advised that none of your tasks should have none task dependency. Every task should be dependent on some other task. And you can also give a lag. Lag is how much time you are giving between these two tasks. For example, my task 1 is going to start, sorry, task 2 is going to start after task 1, but I want my task 2 to start after 3 days. So here I will give a lag of 3 days, so it will move. You see that has moved. So this is the lag time. However, I don't want this lag to be there at the moment. So what I'm doing is, I'm just putting my mouse on this arrow, and then double clicking on it and removing the lag. Okay, it is back. Now, you see, if you are going, what is the benefit of auto scheduling? If I'm going to increase the duration of this task to 9 days, you will see that this has stretched, it has pushed my task to on the bar, this timeline bar accordingly. So that's the beauty of scheduling, auto scheduling tasks. Okay, now I say that this task 3 is dependent on um, task 1 can be done parallelly. So I'm giving you another example. I'm just my task 3 can be done parallelly with task 1 and 2. So what I would say is that it has a task dependency, or predecessor of this task is task 1 and 2. Why I wanted to have two predecessors? Because I want to establish a relationship between task 3 with these two tasks. So you will see that this relationship has been established. Now I want to change this relationship. So what I will do is, I will, you can see two arrows. Sorry, you can see two arrows. So now I will carefully select my arrow, will click on it. This is the dependency of task 1 and 3. I want task 1 and 3 to be parallel. So it is not going to have start to finish, rather start to start. So that means these two tasks will start simultaneously. However, I want this task to be started after 3 days of starting of task 1. So I will give lag of 3 days here. So you will see that this will get pushed now. And then my this dependency, so this between task 2 and 2 and 3, it is again saying start to finish. I don't want this to be start to finish, I want this to be start to start. That means both the task will start parallelly without any lag. So you will see it has pushed it back. All right. So this is how you establish your relationship between tasks. Now, I want this task 4 to be dependent on task 3, just task 3. So I just mark this task 3. I establish this relationship, and it pushes it to the timeline accordingly. And then I want task 5 to be on task 4, task 4, and then it will start pushing it here. And my milestone is going to be achieved when my task 5 is completed, means I have all the tasks 1 to 5 completed. So I am going to say that the dependency of this task is going to be on number 5, because number 5 is the last task of the series. So I'm saying that this is, so you see that this has given a relationship of start to finish. As soon as my task 5 is going to get completed, my milestone would be done. So I am saying, like, my milestone has completed. Now my task 6 has a dependency of milestone 5, milestone 1, which is on number 6. And likewise, I am saying that task 7 and 6 are gonna be parallel tasks for me. So I am going to define these two tasks as parallel tasks. I'm gonna be clicking on this relationship, saying this to be start to start, like both these tasks has to start simultaneously. So they will start simultaneously. And you see that this task is blue, not red, because this is not a critical task, because it is not affecting the completion of the project, whereas all these tasks are contributing to the completion of the project. Now I have task 8, which I am saying is going to be dependent on 8, task 7, and task 9 is going to be dependent on task 8, which is on line number 9. All right, and then my milestone 2 will be hitting when I complete my task 9. That means I see the, all right. All right. Now, this is the Gantt chart view of your project, which is simple and straight. I believe so. You must have found it really easy to follow. Okay. Now, very important thing. I want to mark my task, I want to mark some task on my timeline. How can I do that? I want to mark this milestone one on my timeline. This is the one which you see here is the timeline view. So timeline says that I'm going to start from Monday 27th and going to finish on Friday 29th of December. um, so this is a very simple small project plan that I have created, and I want this milestone one to be on the timeline. So what I will do is I will select this row, right click, and say add to timeline. So you will see that this has been added to the timeline. Likewise, I want my milestone 2 to be added on the timeline as well. I will again go to milestone 2, select it, click, right click, and then select this add to timeline. So this is my timeline view of the project, and this is my Gantt chart. Okay, now let's quickly go and see some of the views. Okay, I am going to the extreme left side, selecting on it, showing you network diagram. This is the network diagram. If you see, every single task is marked and connected on this network diagram. Okay, going back, select, going to the very left side, right click, going to the Gantt chart view. All right, here another thing what I can do is I can give resources. I can assign my resources that I will show you in my next lesson. However, what you can do is, and you have option of creating new columns also. Like if you want to have more information, you can select, you can add more information to the project. One another thing which I would like to highlight here is this notes. When you are working on a project, there might be quite a few things which you would like to add to your project so that you can remember all those things down the line. So you can create those notes. You can just click on the note. It is the you can go to the task information, or you can right click on the notes and you can add, let's say, project is starting on 27th November 2023, and it's let's say, I would say, project is starting on schedule on schedule date, which is 27th November. Okay, so I will know that this was my projected date on which we have started the project. So over a period of time, when you will need to know that what notes you have taken for a particular task, you can certainly go to this part. You can check your notes. You can add the predecessors also from here for tasks, but it is okay. We have done it the other way. All right, so this is the simplest form of the Microsoft project plan that we have created in MS Project. I believe you have got familiar with the basic tools and option MS Project has. And in the next lesson, we will go and work on some of the cost factors, customizing template, and more to tasks. Thank you for now. Have a nice weekend.